Hey, what's up guys, it's Apollo Uchiha here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a new movie. The name of this movie is What If Naruto Was a Bored God? And yeah guys, it is an unscripted movie. Now before continuing this, shout out to Stu where it is due. Shout out to my boy Dragon Prince for suggesting this idea. Now moving onwards, you guys from the audio quality, I'm still there at my relative's house. I was going to come yesterday night, but the thing is that my car broke down. So yeah, had to find a mechanic. He says that it might take a few more hours until it's finally done, and hopefully we'll finally be able to return. But hopefully by the time you watch this video I will be at my home, and yeah, I have a story to make. I'm currently making this at the storeroom of my guests. I mean my relative's house in which I'm staying as a guest, and I had to walk 5 miles to buy this microphone so that I could record a movie for you guys as I promised. Now I hope you enjoyed today's story, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel, because damn, it was quite hard to walk 5 miles to grab a mic and walk 5 miles back from the shop to their house, since they live in a quite mountainy area. Anyways, enough said. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel and enjoy the story. Now without any further ado, let's begin with our today's story and roll the intro. Story begins in the upper realm, where we see 3 people sitting together in a round desk, and 1 chair was empty, as these 3 beings were none other than Kami, Yami, and Shinigami, the 3 sisters who ruled over the shinobi world. As we see, the 3 of them were waiting for someone to arrive from the looks of it, as Yami finally had enough. Where in the hell is he? As suddenly the door busted open, as a figure walked in, which looked quite bored. He wore the traditional robes, which looked quite elegant, and he had a demeanor around him that made everyone aware that he was indeed a powerful being, like the rest in the room. "Geez, calm down, Nason. I'm here, aren't I?" As the said woman, Yami, stood up and literally stomped her way towards the said being and grabbed him by the ear, "Ow, that hurts," and dragged him all the way to the table, and sat him on his chair, and while sitting down. As now we see Kami folding her arms as she looked towards the little sibling of hers, their only baby brother, Naruto, who was created as they were when the universe came into being. As now we see Naruto, who was pouting, then said, "What? You were late," said Shinigami. "All of us are mad, Naruto." "Then what do you want me to do? I'm sorry that these meetings are so boring and I don't want to attend them." "You have to. It is your duty as it is ours. But all you do is just stare at each other and look at your creations. I have nothing to do with them. Heck, they don't even know that I exist." "Naruto, even if they don't know, it is your right to watch over them. You are the deity of the nature, remember? Even if I can contact with nature, and all they do is just harm nature itself, which makes me despise them." "Horrible beings they are." "Some of them might be, but not all of them," said Kami, taking an offense of her creation. As after that we see Naruto just shook his shoulders and shrugged, as Kami then had a tick mark. "Fine, let's get this over with." As this was going on, we see that deep down in the elemental nations, where the humans who have evolved with due time and have gained the abilities to manipulate chakra, a force of the nature, and mold it in the form of elements, were living, and they have started to cause war and havoc as well, destroying a lot of nature in process, which enraged Naruto to no end. But since he was not aware by the people, they didn't care, and neither did Naruto, because he couldn't intervene, because it was the only forbidden law amongst them. As this was going on, we go towards Konoha as they were watching the other villages, as Naruto's gaze fell upon something interesting. The village hidden in the leaves, the only place that he felt a little bit peace at, because, they did torture trees, but those who were dead. After the trees died, they only used those trees to fulfill their, necessities, and they worked hard to maintain nature, which pleased Naruto to some extent, believing in the words of his sister Kami that not all of them are scum at least. As we go towards the nation to see that it was October 10th and nighttime, as something huge was going on. A fox was, on the outer skirts of the village, as a lot of people were trying to defend their home from the looks of it. What the hell is going on in Konoha? said Naruto, alerting the other goddesses who were watching their villages. Huh? Oh my god, the Kyuubi. It's broken free. Maybe the child of prophecy is about to be born, said Yami to Kami as both Shinigami and Kami looked at each other and at their sister as the three of them nodded. Now, as they were looking, they watched that the Kyuubi did impale both of the parents, but this time around, the kid was also impaled, earning a huge cry from both of the parents as the three goddesses were shocked. Oh no, the child of prophecy. At this rate, he will be no more. No, Naruto, no, said the red-headed woman as Naruto's eyes were widened. What? How do they know my name? As even the goddesses were shocked because Naruto's name was rare and never to be revealed. And in the whole shinobi world's history, never been a person who was named Naruto. And yet this woman, she somehow knew. Naruto then said, I have to help them. What? But Naruto, you know the rules, right? Then I'll be reborn in this timeline. I still haven't used that, right? As Yami and Shinigami was about to intervene, we see that Kami stopped them. He's right. We have been reborn 3 times to live amongst the mortals. Naruto hasn't used it one single time yet. I guess it is his first time that he's going to use it. So you are ready to take the task of the child of prophecy as well, Naruto? Of course I am. Then let us rewind some time and allow you to be born. As now we see, the time was rewind all the way back when Naruto was about to be born. As now we see, Kyuubi was watching this impatiently, trying to get out of the seal that Kushina has placed it in, as the soul exchanged with the baby and was filled with a much more powerful being, because even Kyuubi could sense it, but it has a calming aura around it that Kyuubi felt at peace and ease. What is with this aura? And after that, the Kyuubi went in deep thought, only thinking these words, as soon enough his eyes became heavy and he fell asleep. Kushina, now who was in pain before labor, or going into labor, was now out of nowhere calm, as Minato and Bivako who were there were quite shocked. Are you sure, Kushina? Nothing's wrong with you now? No, but we still have to go with the process. She's in labor, Minato, so wait out. As after that we see, everything went smoothly and Naruto was born. And without a hitch as well, and Kushina was feeling energetic as ever. And that is when a masked person appeared. Trying to steal Naruto from Kushina, Kushina used her chakra adamantium chain to pierce through his shoulder, as the man evaded back. As now we see the masked person injured appearing in front of them. Gotta hand it to you, Kushina Uzumaki. Even after giving birth, you still are a tough woman. You have underestimated me. Who are you and what do you want? You know why I'm here. You are the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. I will leave peacefully without harming anyone if you hand yourself over to me. Not a chance. Then be prepared to die. And that is when we see the windows that were there bursted open and shattered as a Chidori laced Kakashi was jumping in his Anbu attire, which barely missed the masked person as he faded away from there. That person disappeared in a Kamui dimension, said Kakashi. As Minato then said, Kakashi, I had a feeling that something might go wrong, so I was waiting outside. And thankfully, I was there. Yes, Kakashi, thank you. But how did you find out? You have a habit, a bad one, Sensei, of leaving your plans written down. As Kushina looked at Minato, as Minato then shrugged and rubbed the back of his head. And after that, the masked person was not seen. As we go towards Minato and Kushina, who were happy, and the birth of their 4th Hokage, their hero's child, was announced to the village. As this was going on, we go towards the outer skirts of the village where we see an injured masked person appear. Damn it! As he threw off his mask, revealing his face, which was half disfigured. It was Obito Uchiha. I can't believe that. That old hag still has a lot of power left in her. Zatsu. As the said man called his compliance, but no answer. Zatsu? As he watched behind to see that Zatsu was in a trance-like state. Zatsu, he shook him. What? What is it, Obito-sama? I am injured. What about the plan? We have to retreat for the time being. It seems they were well prepared. We have to go. Yes, we have to go back into the hiding. As after that we see Zetsu turned once more back towards the village to look at it, because something was attracting him since he was also a part of nature, a force that was created as a part of nature as well. He felt attraction towards its deity, but he did not knew about it at the time. Now we see that it was nighttime and Kushina was resting, and that is when she woke up inside the mindscape in front of the QB who was, well, impaled to a huge stone above lava. What do you want, QB? I have a proposition for you, Kushina. Make your child my Jinchuriki, at least half of it. And why would I do that? You're a kid. I don't know how to explain, but I believe his soul was switched. What? What do you mean by that? Don't take it the wrong way. His soul was a lot weaker before, but now it is a strong, potent energy that is coming out of it. Even without him realizing that, a calm, soothing energy to us, beings who love to reside in nature, like he's a part of nature itself, said Kushina. Yes. Nice try, but no, please, I beg of you. Now this caused a lot of confusion to Kushina. First of all, what the hell was wrong with this Biju? Why was it apologizing and then now, out of nowhere, he was begging? Look, what happened in the past. I know I was not kind to you, and neither was you to me, so we are equal in this, Kushina. Please, I beg of you. I will help you and your child. Protect it, you have my word. I have to talk to Minato about this. How? Do you trust me then? I don't know why, but I think I do. I can't explain this, but I don't think that you're lying. Because I'm not. I will talk about this with Minato. As the next morning came, Kushina tried to talk to Minato but couldn't. But as the night arrived, we see Kushina finally managed to muster up the courage as Minato and Kushina were home alone, as Naruto was resting. Minato? What is it, Kushina? I had a talk with QB. What? Yes. I came in contact last night while I was resting. So he wanted to get free or something, right? No, actually, he wants to be, split into two parts and be wants Naruto and me both to be Jinchurikis of it. What? Why? Something that this way we can control its power more easily, and something about Naruto being a soothing spirit. Well, to be honest, yeah, I have been holding Naruto and I was tired when I arrived back home, but now I'm completely fine. Like there was no fatigue and all, said Minato, as Kushina then said, Really? Yes, haven't you, thought that about the whole day? I mean, yeah, I was kind of busy thinking this through, but I never thought about it like that. No wonder the QB wants to be, apart with Naruto. So how about this, Minato? He promised that he will protect Naruto, and do you trust him? I think I do. Well, if you do, Kushina, then I guess we can try. As after that, we see only Hiruzen and Jiraiya were informed of this, and they were a part of this, making the first time Biju split into two parts and making two Jinchurikis, which were separate of one Biju. As the process was successful after a whole night's of work, as now we see the family of three were resting as Jiraiya and Hiruzen, who were exhausted, were just watching them from the other side. What do you think, Sensei? I could ask you the same, Jiraiya. You tell me. Well, I think that it is kind of good, and since he is the child of prophecy, he was going to be needing some bit of help, and being the Jinchuriki of the QB, I guess that will help him a lot. You really think so, Jiraiya? You don't think for a moment that this is QB trying to get out? You think so, Sensei? Well, Minato and Kushina are convinced that QB has changed, but I have witnessed it firsthand twice. Not many people changes after trying to destroy your home and you for 2 times. Not one bit. Something must have happened. Something must have happened to who? Naruto. Something that neither Minato or Kushina realize. Something bad? No, I don't think so, to be honest. Well, we gotta do is just wait and see what happens in the future and hope for the best, Jiraiya. Let the family rest and let us talk. As after that we see next morning appeared and everything went back to normal. And after that we have a time skip. Time skip of 6 years later. As we see a 6-year-old Naruto was resting in the children's play area under a shade of tree. As he was resting, many animals came out and was now resting near him, and some of them were also resting on top of his head, shoulders, arms, and legs, as the rest of the kids were watching this. And one of them was, in particular, Kiba, a girl from the Inuzuka clan, was watching this because her Ninken, Akamaru, was also resting near him. As Naruto's eyes began to open, as he saw that, most of the girls such as Kiba, Ino, Sakura, Hinata, and the boys Shikamaru and the others were watching him with quite curiosity. As Naruto then asked, "What is it? Is everything fine?" As all of them then pointed at him, as Naruto looked down at everywhere to see that most of the wild animals such as birds and some of the even wild threatening animals such as snakes were resting near by his side, but not in a threatening manner or anyway. As Naruto was shocked. Huh. Who would have thought? As suddenly, as Naruto began to stretch, all of them woke up and did something odd, cuddled with Naruto and left. But the snake stayed and even wriggled up on Naruto's arm and used his tongue to, well, literally tickle Naruto on the cheek as Naruto rubbed him on the head before the snake left. As after that, Naruto got up and see that Akamaru whined. As Kiba then got in front of Naruto and asked, "How in the hell did you do that, Naruto?" Kiba-chan. Well, it's quite easy actually. All you have to do is just relax and let the, I guess animals get comfortable with you, I guess. That is how it works, I guess. With that said, Naruto then said, "Oh, look at the time. Maybe we should go home." As Shikamaru then said, "What a drag. I have to go and listen to that woman's voice again. All the time, nagging, saying, yelling at my dad." And that is when he was bonked on the head with a fist. It was the said woman, his mother, Shikamaru. "What in the hell were you talking about your mother?" Nothing in particular, mother." "Well, you have a lot to say, young man. How about you say that in front of my face once we get home?" As after that, everyone prayed for him because, well, he was about to get an ass whooping of a mighty level. As that is when we see Tizumi, the mother of, well, Kiba, arrived. "Bye, Naruto. See you later." As after that, we see Akamaru as well. As Naruto arrived in front of them, as he looked at the huge Ninken in front of him, Kurimaru. As Naruto then hugged him. "Wow, he's so fluffy." As Kurimaru stood still, as Tizumi was quite shocked. As she then asked her Ninken, "You're okay with this?" "Why wouldn't I be?" "Well, for once you don't allow anyone to touch you." "I don't use violence against kid." "Think again, what about Kiba?" "Well, Kiba over here couldn't be considered a human. She's basically a part of the pack, like Akamaru is. So yeah, I have to discipline them. Because you cannot control your daughter. Specifically this one, Tizumi. Oi, don't tell me how to treat my daughters, okay? They're fine just the way they are." As after that, we see Naruto then petted him, as even his tail began to wag, which even caused Tizumi to be going into shock because Kurimaru's tail never wagged, not even for her, and to be honest, she was quite jealous. As after that, we see Naruto bid his farewell as something interesting happened. Kurimaru whimpered, as Kiba then said, "How can this be? You're whimpering. I have never seen you whimper." As Kurimaru growled, "Enough, we're leaving." As now we see in Inuzuka clan compound in the nighttime, Tizumi and Kurimaru were sitting outside of the main clan house. As Tizumi then asked, "You were acting weird today, you know that?" "Why? Just because I treated a kid nicely?" "Well, your tail for once began to wag." As Kurimaru's single eye widened. "What? You must be making stuff up. I couldn't do that. Remember?" I'm not a dog. I am a ninken and an 80% wolf. You and your daughter testified that yourself. Even if it is true, your tail still wagged. I saw what I saw, Kurimaru. Don't change the topic. As after that incident we see, 2 more years passed as Naruto was now at the age of 8 and a party was being held at the Yuga clan compound as Kushina and Naruto alongside with Minato went there. As Hinata's mother and the other mothers of the, well, clan head's children were there as they were all having a talk and enjoying the party. We see that Naruto and Kiba were also having a time of their life alongside with Hinata and Ino, as it was time for Hinata to go to bed as she was feeling exhausted. As Naruto then told her, why doesn't he go with her to make sure that everything is okay? As Naruto went with her, we see that suddenly her guard, Ko, which was accompanying them, was knocked out and both of them were snatched in the back. And both of their hands and feet were tied with a blink of eye. As they heard laughing, way too easy. And guess what? We got an Uzumaki as well, with Namikaze genes in it. We'll get rich, a lot of rich. You hear that? Said a second voice. Enough, we have to get back to Kumo first. As the third voice said. Naruto was now familiar with the voice. It was the voice of the said person who came from Kumo a few days back, claiming that they were here for a peace treaty. As Naruto was now panicking, because Hinata was literally crying and shaking, and Naruto was thinking of a way out. And that is when he heard a voice. Let me handle this. As suddenly Naruto blacked out, and once his eyes were open, the bag in which he was in was ripped out, and the people that were trying to, well, kidnap both him and Hinata were on the ground, scared and badly mauled as well, as if some kind of animal literally mauled them alive and kept them alive just to, well, torture them even further because of the pain that they were enduring. And that is when we see Naruto look back at Hinata, who was, well, literally hugging Naruto, yelling stop and stop again and again. And that is when Naruto then said, Hinata, what is wrong? Is everything fine? Everything is fine, Naruto. And that is when the, well, elders arrived. And Hiyashi was shocked to see Naruto covered in blood and Hinata hugging him. And at the same time, he witnessed that they had bruises on both of their wrists and ankles. And they saw the 3 men laying there with Kumo headbands. They're from the Kumo, said Minato. Anbu, arrest them, Minato. Don't. You know that it is rightfully our right to give them punishment. Hiyashi, you know that they will ask for something ridiculous in return, right? They are asking for this. At least they are alive. We have crippled them enough, or someone has. I know that someone. As now we see, Kushina, who was there, then begin to ask something. Kyubi, was that your... Of course it was my other half. I promised you, didn't I? I will protect your son. Does he? He doesn't remember anything. I made sure that his consciousness was asleep when he allowed me to take control. Thank you. As after that we see, Kushina as well said to Hiyashi, I think it is right only that we arrest them. Kushina, are you sure about this? Said Hiyashi, knowing that Kushina had a past with Kumo. Even if I do want to kill them, Minato is right. They will demand something so absurd from you that you don't have any choice but to give it, or otherwise we might have to go to war, which is something that we cannot afford at this time. Damn it. Well, from the looks of it, said Hizashi, his brother, they have already gotten what they deserved. You're right about that, brother. As now we see, Kushina said, Minato, everyone, I think it is, well, good to say that we need to talk, but in private. As Hizashi, Hiyashi, and Hitomi, the mother of Hinata, alongside with Minato and Kushina, were inside their house, as the kids were there at the Kage's house resting in Naruto's room. It was Kyubi. What? Yes. There was something that we haven't told you, and after Kushina revealed the truth to them, they were shocked. Shocked that Kyubi would say this and wants to be with Naruto. As that is when We see Hiyashi then said, "Something is off about your kid. We Yugas, we prefer peace, and our eyes are all pure, and can see chakra, which is the most pure of the pure form. It has been recorded the most purest chakra that we have seen was the Shinigami's chakra. Last time an Uzumaki summoned it in the first Great Shinobi War, and his chakra was white. And I have seen Naruto's chakra as well, behind your back. And you want to know what the color of that chakra is? Yes. White. What? Yes. And from my conclusion, only gods have white chakra. And not only that, there was orange chakra there as well, which indicates that it was Kyuubi's chakra. Normally the human's chakra is blue, but in case of Hashirama-sama, who was close to nature, it was purple. But the nature of chakra that is surrounded by chakra is white as well, and Naruto's chakra is white. So my guess is that Naruto's body is taking chakra from the nature, or as if the nature is helping Naruto themselves. Yes, and that is when we see Anbu's arrive as they were talking. As the Anbu was quite shocked, and he said in a shocked expression as well, "Hokage-sama, something bad happened to the Kumo Shinobis." What happened? Wild animals attacked them. Snakes, leopards, all of them. Some of the animals are not even found in the land of fire, but they all attacked them and mauled them even further. One of them is barely alive. The rest of the two are dead. Damn it. And at that moment, Kumo has been already called for. And when they arrived, they were informed of the two dead people by the hands of the animals. And that is when we see A, who were there, then stood up and began to talk for a moment as A demanded something. "We wanted something in return as well. You promised that even if our shinobis were hurt beyond becoming shinobis ever again, they were still my men. And it was my responsibility to bring them back to their families alive. And you have not been able to fulfill that condition. So we would like to request something in return." "Hokage, what is it?" "Raikage, we'd like to request for your son to remain in Kumo for the upcoming 5 years." "What? How dare you think that I would agree to such a thing?" "Then be prepared for war. Because Kumo's council will want that at no expense. This way I will be able to prevent the war, and I promise you, as the Raikage, no one will try to harm your kid. Not one bit. He will live there, train with us, and after the 5 years probation, he will be allowed to return. It is a most lenient punishment that I could decide, or penalty that I could decide for, Konoha. I know what is done is done. And as an exchange, I would allow one of my people to remain here as well." "Who?" "The person who was behind it. He's alive, right?" "Yes." "Yashi Yuga, you have my order to execute him however you deem fit, after treating him perfectly fine." "Thank you, Raikage-sama. That is the most fine and suitable punishment and penalty as Konoha we could receive," said Minato. As after that we see Minato then said, "But sending my son..." "Minato, as a Kage to another Kage, I have given you my word." As Kushina then stood up, "How can we trust you? Your father, he has tried to kidnap me. What makes you think that we would trust you, that you wouldn't do the same? You have been given my word. If that is not enough, then I don't know what else to do, aside from the word that Kumo's council is craving for. And I and you both know that we both are not in such a position. And the other villagers will take advantage of that, Kushina. I have promised you that no one will hurt your son, or even try to threaten him. He is under my protection and will live with me and my family." As after that, Kushina calmed down, and the Konoha's council was left to discuss things amongst themselves. And as for Naruto, we see that he was once more resting as A and B were leaving. As they were passing by throughout Konoha, they saw that a children's playground was arriving, and that is when B stopped. "B, what the hell? You want to go take a swing or something?" said A jokingly. "No, brother. That kid over there. He has Kyuubi's essence, but his chakra. What of it?" Is he strong? Strong. Yes, chakras like God, if that is something you can think about even. As that is when Gyuki spoke to B as B whistled. What? Well, Gyuki's saying that the person over there is Cubist in Shureki. And not only that, that person is also the son of Kushina Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze. And he has a soothing and calming aura around him. How can you be so sure? Look around him. As from a distance, he saw that all of the animals were crawling out, even the most dangerous ones. And instead of hurting Naruto, they just cuddled up and was now resting near him. And suddenly a huge snake, such as a python, came out, which was so huge that it could literally devour Naruto with a single bite of his mouth. As it went around in circles around Naruto in a protective manner, and then laid down right next to him, his head in his lap. As everyone alongside with the two Kuma shinobis were shocked. Wow, that is something that is for the first time in my life I have witnessed. How can this be? Well, I don't know how to tell you that, brother. But life with him is certainly going to be interesting. As after that we see, back in Konoha's council it was agreed. And both of the parents had no choice. As now we see Minato arrived and was shocked to see this, as the snake even tried to bite him. But as Naruto woke up and told him to stop, the snake did. What is it, Tochan? Naruto, what the hell is going on here? Everything is fine. He's my friend, I guess. I call him Slippy. Slippy? As Naruto named this kitty name to a huge python, as the python looked at him. As Naruto then chuckled, I'm sorry, but hey, you gotta admit that is kind of a nice name, right? As the snake literally shrugged before leaving, as did everyone else as Naruto waved by at them. As Minato then said, son, there's something we need to discuss. A-sama, B, please wait at my office. I will be there within half an hour. As they both waited half an hour inside Hokage's office, as Naruto was there with the bag, and tears were visible in his eyes, which he has literally, squashed with his, fists which were balled into his eyes, trying to hide them. As Naruto then said, hello, my name is Naruto. I'll be in your care. As after that, A then said, you don't have to worry about anything. If anything, we promise you that nobody will try to harm you or hurt you. As now we see, the journey to Kumo began, and they arrived at Kumo within a week. And in Kumo's council, everything was announced and what has happened and how everything went down, and how instead of going on all-out war, a 5-year probation was made, and Hokage's child was here. And when the council demanded why would he use such a ridiculous tactic, just to satisfy them, Aiden said, we're gonna make sure the kid thinks of this as his second home. Think about it. We will gain a strong ally, and not only that, we will have a political alliance through marriage with Konoha as well. And Konoha and us will be tied and strong together. Being connected with the strongest nation who hasn't lost a single war, even at the most devastating rates. What makes you think the other villages will try to harm us or hurt us? That is correct. As the council that at that time understood A's motivation and ideologies behind this idea and tactic. And as for Naruto, we see B was giving him a tour, and even Naruto met with some of the, Genins there, who was going to be his best friends in the time being, Amoi, Karui, Samui, as well as Yujito. As after meeting them, Naruto felt quite at ease, as now we see he became quick friends with them and years begin to pass by. We see Naruto spent 4 years in Kumo by the time now, as now he was at the age of 12. Naruto was resting in his apartment as he woke up feeling quite heavy. As he looked down to see that it was Yujito who was resting there in a cat-like state right next to him. As Naruto woke up, seriously, again Yujito-chan? As Yujito then stretched and then said, in a purring tone, why not? I mean, you promised that you will marry me, right? It was a slip of a tongue. Are you going to deny that? Said Yujito in a teasing manner. As that is when from the other side, Samui woke up, covered in sheets. Jeez, can you two stop? Not cool. I was trying to rest. Samui-chan, what the hell? As that is when we see Karui rising from the ground as well. What the hell? How did I ended up here? I was pretty sure that I was resting on top of Naruto-kun. As that is when Naruto then said, Karui-chan, what the hell is even going on? And suddenly his door bursted open and in came B, rapping as usual until he halted in a mid-pose and rap as he witnessed the scene. Oh my, you fool, you player. I'll leave you as you are. Enjoy your day, ladies. Especially you, Naruto. Wait, B-san, wait! As after that we see B screeching out, that fool is a player! I can't believe! I need a new layer to cover in. As after that he began to make his whack rap again and left, dancing like an idiot. As after that we see Naruto was now walking in the streets with the other two, going to the Kumo Shinobi Academy, and he was greeting everyone because surprisingly enough, Kumo was filled with quite friendly people, and not only that, Naruto was quickly fond of them, and everyone saw Naruto as one of their own already, even knowing that he was from Konoha as well on probation here. As now we see Naruto in the academy, as one of the kids then said, why are you still here, Naruto? I don't understand that. As Naruto then said, I'm sorry, what? What do you want, Ken? Said Yusuke as she stood up. Not to be rude or anything, Yusuke, but that kid over there, he's going to be our enemy in the future. Whether you like it or not. What do you mean? That is so not cool. You see, bastard. Yeah, fuck you, Ken. Go sit down, said Kari. Enough with you. Can't you understand? He's going to go away back to Konoha. As the three of the girls looked wide-eyed because they have forgotten that it was Naruto's last year. As Naruto looked down. But this is also my home, I guess. I will still visit. It's not that simple, you idiot. What makes you think that we would want you back? The people treated you nicely because the Araigage asked them to do so. And what makes you think that the people did treat him nicely because I asked them? I never did. Naruto won their trust, said Raikage as he came there, as Ken was shocked. It is true, Naruto. And the council, who has been now fond of you, has even requested that your year of probation to be lifted up. You can freely visit Kumo whenever you want. And this is the proof of that. A Kumo headband was handed over to Naruto. Congratulations on graduation from Kumo's academy. You are the most prodigious student that I ever had. And it's been an honor teaching you. As Naruto was shocked after hearing this. Really? What do you mean, really, kid? You were the most prodigious student. You earned this. No, not about that. I'm grateful and all, but seriously? I can visit whenever I want? Yes, Naruto, said A with a smile on his face. Of course you can visit anytime we want. A bunch of shinobis are already dispatched from Konoha, and they are going to arrive here within a month to take you back. As now the three of the girls were quite sad, as Ken smirked. See? He's leaving. And we have agreed to make complete alliance with Konoha once and for all. This time I will be going there specifically. After a few days you arrived there. Seriously? Yes, Naruto. That's so awesome! As Naruto then looked at the girls, who were quite sad but still had a smile on their faces. And that is when they decided, and so did Naruto, that they were going to spend the best month they could ever in Kumo. And they did. As finally Naruto bid everyone farewell, who he has gotten close to, and the people of Konoha Kumo in general, as shinobis of Konoha arrived, and were standing outside of Kumo's gates as Naruto was called there. And after that, Naruto bid his farewell and left. As now we see, Aiden said, "You don't need to be sad, girls. I have already sent your name in as his political marriage partners. Since he's the only Uzumaki, male one, he is going to be put under CRA by the council. One way or another, I am going to make sure that you join in. Oh, and by the way, turns out Oniki has also joined the band, seeing that Kumo and Konoha are going to be the powerful forces." "What do you mean?" said B. "Turns out, before the Second Great Shinobi War, he and Arashi Uzumaki had a drinking competition when they were allies. And not only that, they had come to a, very odd conclusion. And that was a political marriage between the two families. Turns out it traces back all the way to Kushina, and Naruto is his successor." Damn, So, yeah, his granddaughter and Arashi's grandson are going to marry, which is Naruto. What? How much brides are he's going to get? Well, there are three girls from Konoha already there. One's from the Yuga clan girl that he saved, one's from the Inizuka clan, and the other is from the Yamanaka, I believe. What? As after that we see, back in Konoha, Minato and Kushina were waiting patiently. Well, Kakashi wanted this for them because, in a way of pranking them, he wanted them to stay here while he goes and fetch Naruto with his team. And today was the day that Naruto was going to arrive, as both of the parents were quite happy. And Naruto did arrive, and once he did, they were both shocked that Naruto was happy, and also held a headband of Kumo. And it also had Konoha's symbol on it as well. As both of the parents dashed and hugged their son as he came into view, as Naruto hugged them back, meeting them after 4 years. 4 full years separated from them. As everyone was happy, as this was going on, we see that Zetsu was monitoring this, and once again was in a trance-like state, as he brought himself out of it. What the hell is going on here? Why? Why do I feel a connection to him? I'm the will of my mother, Kaguya, completely submitted to her. Then why? As something within him then spoke. You are my avatar, said the nature itself from within. You are corrupted by her. He is your true master. He is your true deity. Our protector, our provider, Naruto-sama. As Zetsu then realized, his eyes begin to glow wide for a moment before turning back, as he then calmed himself down as his head was aching. Damn it! Damn it all! I don't know what to do now. As that is when we see Kaguya Otsutsuki, in her seal within the moon, begin to stir awake. Something has taken control over my creation, Zetsu. And that something is a god. But I thought that the gods didn't wanted humans and have abandoned them. Interesting. Who could it be? It couldn't be the three of them. It has to be him. As that is when she used her whole power as her third eye opened. As from her third eye we see the perspective of the whole world that she could see. Scanning throughout the whole world, she finally found the one she was looking for. Her eyes widened. It cannot be. He has returned once more. I can't believe it. He has been reborn. That means I can go back. I can be with him this time. As that is when we have a flashback. Flashback to the planet Otsutsuki's, or otherwise known as the Angels of Kamiyami and Shinigami. They were a peaceful race, long before, once they lived on their planet. As Kaguya was a kid, we see that they were visited by Kamiyami and Shinigami themselves, as they were considered their first creations before the humans. And amongst them was their younger sibling, named Naruto, who occasionally played with her at the time. And she has gotten so close to him. And one time, when she put an advance to Naruto, he was shocked, and the three sisters appeared and were enraged. And that is when they never brought him ever again, and kept him in a close state. And she was getting mad and mad. And not only that, something interesting happened. Her father, the king of the Otsutsukis, he ate a fruit that one of his generals found. And after that, his father, her father, all of the people that went on becoming the perfectionist, the more superior race than ever. And that was not all. The final nail in the coffin was that when they found out that humans were created because Kamiyami and Shinigami were thinking of abandoning them. And they were going to get into ruins. And they did, because many of the revolts then began to rise, thinking that the current king, was the cause of this. And they died fighting each other. Only a few of them remained and scattered around. She was one of them who escaped that hell and came here. But unfortunately, she too was consumed by the chakra fruit that was born here. Turns out it was a trap from Yami to make sure that she never gets in contact with Naruto, and Naruto begins to hate her because she was the one who was now going to hurt nature. But all that was evident now. End of the flashback. As now we see her eyes once more glowing. A white hue. I will get you back, Naruto-kun. This time one way or another. As she used all her life force in one jutsu. Rinne Tenseigan rebirth. As she was reborn in the form of a younger Otsutsuki girl, free from her previous husk and vessel, into the shinobi world. As she rose up, we see that instantly Zetsu was alerted. As Zetsu arrived there, Mother, you have been... Yes, I have been reborn, Zetsu. I have used all my strength to reborn this body. My strength may be weaker now, but I am still who I was. What about the plan then? Forget about the plan. You have to only target your father. Father? The nature deity, Naruto. The one that is reborn as Naruto Uzumaki. Wasn't it? Yes, how do you... I saw everything, remember? How can he be my father? He's the one whose part I took, and also took my part to create Yuzetsu. I took a part of nature, whose he is the deity of, and my part to create you, and that is why he is your father. I see. So that is why I felt a connection to him. Of course, my son. Why else would you feel a connection to any mortal? He is not a mortal. He has been reborn as one. He just doesn't remember. All we gotta do is just make sure he remembers who he is. As that is when Kamiyami and Shinigami arrived. Kaguya Otsutsuki, you have altered the prophecy once more. And you know what that means? There is no need for child of prophecy any longer, because you are not going to attack. But there is also one more thing. We cannot allow you to meet Naruto. Why? Last time I didn't understand. I want to know now. Why? Because you're not fit for him. And those girls, those mortal women are? He's a mortal now. And those are the girls he attracted, not knowing himself. So it is fine for him to have some. But why can't I? Because you can't. You're not telling me the truth, Kami-sama. Please, I beg of you. My whole clan, we have been your creation. We have worshipped you. We have done everything to please you. Then why? Why can't you tell me? Because you were his destined one. And we wanted to change that. He was our little brother. He was too young to grow up. So, to change that, we decided to intervene. What? So, he was mine to begin with? No, he was never yours to begin with. It was something that the fates have written, and we have taken the power from them now and altered it. We don't want you to be together because we have seen just how many atrocities you would commit in the future, and that you did. But don't you understand it was because of you that this happened? Because the people were in panic that they were going to be abandoned by their goddesses. Because of what might the previous king have done, my father would have done to do something to you, to enrage you. Whatever it might have been, your people have done a lot of atrocities, and so have you, the child over there. We do not consider you Naruto's son. You are an abomination, created using his powers, even without him giving any consent by this woman. And that is why, if anyone is not worthy, it is you, Kaguya. You all by yourself. And that is when we see Hagoromo's spirit appeared there. In his sage-like state. Please, I beg of you. Do not then watch your mother's tone. Boy, we have given her enough leeway to be left her alive. For so many centuries. We could have literally crushed her, but we didn't. Because you vowed that she will never intervene in the shinobi world. Hagoromo, you knew? As Hagoromo turned towards his mother with a sad expression. Of course I did, Mother. Plus you did impure yourself by giving birth to us. It is no use. Naruto-sama is still young and a virgin god. And he was supposed to be mine. You were supposed to be his son. I was never supposed to be his son. I was supposed to be your son and that man's sons that tried to kill you. I'm a half mortal, half Otsutsuki. If Naruto-sama has decided to be born into this world, then let him live. Yes, because our brother was filled with boredom, we allowed him because he hasn't been reborn ever since 1. Because we haven't allowed him to. But seeing that child in danger and seeing that the child for the first time was named after him, Naruto, who was filled with curiosity once more, we allowed him to be reborn. But only once. We're not going to allow him any longer, knowing that you have been reincarnated as well. So we are going to bring him back to us. No, you can't mean that. Yes, Naruto is going to die. As now we see the Akatsuki, who then has to realize, oh no, they were going to make a move on Konoha now. As suddenly, huge flames and screams were heard by all of them in Konoha, as the Hokage house was well raided by some shinobis. Turns out they were Akatsuki, and they were able to evade all of them and leave after causing you destruction. And turns out Naruto was really injured. As Kami-Yami Shinigami then said, it has been done. Naruto is not existing in this plane any longer. He has been taken, and we are leaving. Our job here is done. As now we see, Kaguya then begin to yell, I will get you for this. You hear me? I will get you for this. You cannot stop me from achieving my fate. Your fate has been changed already, Kaguya. One way or another, we will stop you at all tracks, no matter what the cost is. Even his happiness, said Hagoromo. Yes, he is our little brother, our responsibility, and we will protect him from our creation if it ever comes to that. We know your flaws. We have created you after all. As after that, the 3 sisters faded. As now we go into Konoha, where we see Kaguya arrive as well, to see that a huge funeral is being held. Turns out 12-year-old Naruto has just died, the only person who was killed in this whole attack, and seems like the only person who was targeted. Not only Konoha was sad, but the whole Kumo was present there as well, who was sad as well, alongside the 3 Kages of Iwa, Kumo, and Konoha, as Minato and Kushina were just devastated. And that is when, after all of that was done, we see Minato went back to his normal job, but he couldn't focus because on his desk was a picture of his son and his wife, as tears welled up in his eyes again. His son who was taken from him early on in his life. As now we see Kaguya arrived there, as she knocked on the door. May I have a word with you, Minato Namikaze? Yes, who are you? What do you want? It is about your son Naruto. What is of him? I know this might be hard to believe, but he was a god, who was a brother of Kami-Yami Shinigami, their little brother, who they are quite protective of. You see, the 3 of them have been reincarnated again and again in different periods to live amongst their creation, to find out their flaws. And Naruto was reincarnated here as your son. He forgot everything about his previous life. And once I became free, after finding out that it was a ploy of the 3 goddesses, I was taught by them, and they have taken Naruto. It was an attack orchestrated by them to take Naruto away from me. Why? I was this destined one, written by the fates, and they wanted nothing of that. Thinking that their brother was too young, they took the powers of the fates away from them, making it their own and changing the fates again and again. As that is when Jiraiya then said, I know you're telling the truth, Kaguya, the rabbit goddess. Because, 1, that is true. Gamamaru-sama has received another prophecy that the child of prophecy was no longer needed. Turns out Kami-Yami Shinigami-sama might have really an involvement here, because even Gamamaru-sama was quite confused after that. As now we see, up in the upper realm, while everyone was sad in the human realm, Naruto was sitting there, looking at his 3 sisters with rage-filled eyes, as the 3 of them tried to convince him that it was for his own good. I'm not gonna talk to you. I don't even consider you my sisters any longer. If anything, I'll go back to my domain and remain there for all eternity. Naruto, please, you have to understand. They are our creations. We know their flaws. So what? As your mothers, said Yami, it is our right to deem fit who is fit for our son or not. As this caused Naruto to look at them with shock, as Kami and Shinigami both looked at their sister, who did a big oopsie there. What? We lied. What do you mean you lied? You're not our brother, Naruto. You are our son, actually. We saw our creation bearing and giving childbirth. We wanted to experience something like that. And once you were born, we did experience that. But to keep you close, we thought that we have to marry you and you have to be with us. What? Why? We are gods. Human rules doesn't apply to us, Naruto, said Shinigami. We created you to be with us, and with us alone. But they also need me. You know that, right? Naisans? Of course they do. But you belong to us, Naruto, and we don't like to share. But you're gonna share with each other, right? Said Naruto. As that is when they realized that what they have done. You have caused a lot of grief, Kami-ne-san. And you too as well, Yami-ne-san and Shinigami-ne-san. And you know what? I'm quite surprised that I really am a god, actually. You know what? Fine. Since it might get boring, how about this to add some twist? I read a book like Uchiha Tactics, Jiraiya. What should we do? Said Shinigami. Well, we're gonna kill him. Shinigami, Yami, the best punishments ever. Whoa, hold up. Don't go after my godparent. It's not your godparent. If anyone is, it's us who created you. Geez, not like that. Well, you see, I can't just wash away the memories of the life that I lived. They are also a family to me. They are some nice people. They don't deserve something like this. Like your abandonment and all that. At one point I hated them because I listened to you closely and saw the atrocities that only they committed. But now I know what it's like to be one of them. I have lived with them. And I would request you, please kindly allow me to go back and be a part of them once more. Because I would love to enjoy some time more with them. And with you three as well. Really? Yes. I would like to go there in my real form. So in that way I can visit that realm and this realm as well. As after that we see Naruto hug the three of them. I promise you, I'll treat you all equally. Have I not done so from the beginning? As the three of them blushed and nodded. You have. See? It's not that hard. Well, gotta go. And without seeing our Naruto disappeared, arriving in front of his father once more. But this time in his 12-year-old state, but still wearing his royal robes of a god and a staff, which was glowing completely white, bright, as he placed the staff down, as he then dashed and hugged his father. To-chan, as everyone was shocked, as it was in the midst of a shinobi council meeting, with the other Kages there. Naruto? As that is when the three females arrived there. As well, as everyone was shocked. Who are you three? As that is when Danzo himself then said, Lower your weapons, you idiots. You don't realize who they are? We're Kami, Yami, and Shinigami. And that is our little brother, Naruto. The deity of the nature itself. As everyone was shocked once this was revealed. As that is when we see Zetsu appeared. My lord, you have returned. Father, you have. Ah, you must be Zetsu. Nice to meet you, kiddo, said Naruto. It's quite weird, you know. I'm in this young state and you know, my kid is all grown up and all. If you want me to turn into a kid-like state, I can. It's fine. Just remain how you are. I'm happy that you've grown up like this. Sorry for not being there for you, I guess. As that is when Naruto turned towards his dad and mother, who was there, holding her tears. Come on. Otherwise your eyes will get puffy, Ka-chan. As the said woman dashed and hugged Naruto. As after that, the whole village was happy that Naruto has returned, but was more than ever shocked to find out that Naruto was actually a god. Was reborn as, well, both of their child. And his, well, tail spread out throughout the whole elemental nation. And after that, in a Kagami summit, Naruto made sure that everyone realized that he wanted peace for them. And that is what they listened to. Because they didn't want to enrage this one, since they have enraged the other three goddesses. And finally, Naruto was able to reunite with the best friends of his, Kiba, Ino, Hinata, Yuzito, Samui, Karui, as well as Kuretsuchi, and Kaguya finally. His first best friend. Long time no see, Kaguya-chan. Long time no see, Naruto-kun. As after that, Naruto spent a lot of time with them, and when Naruto grew up into his normal 16 years of state, in his body that he materialized in, he married them all. And not only them, those three goddesses above as well. And made sure to be the king of universe and all the realms as justfully as he could be, and a loving father as well. As this is where I'm going to be leaving the story off, guys. I hope you like this one, and if you do, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Hope you like this movie, and if you did, then you'll already know what to do. Anyways, this is Apollo Uchiha, and I'm signing off for the day. Peace!